I've been writing for so many years, but I've never really had a writing routine. It's always kind of just been write when you feel like it, write when you have time. And that's worked well for me, honestly, especially with school being a large factor of my life up until recently. But now that I'm graduated and I have the opportunity to be a full-time writer, I really want to find a writing routine that works well for me. And I think it's finally time that I try to find my perfect writing routine. And that's basically what today's video is gonna be about. Hi besties, welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you're new. I'm V. I have right here my ideal perfect writing routine that I came up with, and I'm just gonna be testing it out and seeing if it's something that'll work for me as a full-time writing routine. And I'm so excited, you guys. Like, it's literally my dream. I was gonna say a fantasy to be a full-time author and just have my days be dedicated to writing, but I don't want to call it a fantasy because I know that it can happen. And as of right now, I have the opportunity to try it out because I don't have school or work, so I can do that. That means I need a routine. So I'm warning, this is gonna be a pretty unexciting routine. If I'm being very realistic, a lot of the times when I'm writing, it's just like at my bed or at my desk, just sitting and writing. That's it. Like, I just wanted to keep it super realistic and not glamorize or romanticize it. So it might sound boring, but I'm really excited for it. Okay, so it starts at 7:30. That's the time that I've been waking up recently, and it works so well for me. I feel refreshed from a good night's sleep because I never go to bed past like 12 o'clock. So I at least get 7 hours and a half of sleep. And I just love waking up with the sun because I feel like I'm wasting no amount of daylight during the day, if that makes sense. Like, if I sleep in, I feel like I've wasted a good part of the morning. So 7:30, and I immediately just want to have a reading session. So I don't pick up my phone, I don't pick up my laptop, I don't even like get out of my bed to brush my teeth or anything, like just read. And that's how I start my morning. That's how I wake my brain up. I realized that I wanted to do this when I did my last video where I was reading for 24 hours because I woke up early one of those days to read, and it felt so right. And I remember telling you guys, I was like, this is what I want to have in my routine because it feels so right. I did it again this morning, as you guys saw, and I got 2 chapters read of Powerless, and it feels so good to just wake up. It also makes me excited to wake up and just know that I get to read first thing in the morning, like nothing stressful, just whatever book I'm reading or feeling like reading. And the reason I think this will work so well for a writing schedule is because reading, like 9 times out of 10, makes me want to write. Like, it motivates me so much holding a physical copy of a book in my hand. So that's what I want to put in my morning routine. And I don't have a set time for how long I read because I need the schedule to be super flexible. I cannot have a schedule that has very little margin for changing stuff around. So anywhere between 30 minutes to an hour, which brings me to about 8:30, because my goal is to start my day, or like my productivity at 10 a.m. And again, I don't know if I'll be sticking with this routine. The whole point of this vlog is to test things out, try things out. But I'm the kind of person that needs a lot of time in the morning to get ready before I do something. Like, even before classes, I'd wake up like 2 hours earlier. So the goal is to start the writing day at 10 a.m. So between reading and that first writing session, ideally I want to fit in physical activity. I have been slacking on that lately, but physical activity is so good for me mentally, emphasis on mentally and physically. So I really want to try to force myself to do that if I can, but I know that realistically there will be days that I do not want to do that. And in those cases, it's fine for me to skip out on it. If I can get it any other point during the day, that'd be good. Like going out for a walk, which I have very little motivation to do in the winter. It's winter right now, so yeah. Or, you know, using my treadmill or my exercise bike. Just some sort of physical activity is so important. And am I in fact using my physical activity time right now to do this intro? Yes. Because I really did not want to work out today, guys. And see, I'm being realistic, okay? Like, I don't have the motivation to work out today. That's okay. I could still work out later on in the day. But I'm putting it in my routine so that I try to do it as much as possible. Anyway, and then after that, I could have breakfast before my first writing session, or on days where I'm not hungry early in the morning, I could just have it during my break. So yeah, 10 a.m. is when the writing day starts. And this is how I decided I wanted to break it up. I kind of wanted to try it like a 9 to 5 because I wanted to have a cutoff time. I feel like it's important to have wind down relaxation time, and so I'm aiming to be productive during a certain window of frame, and then at 5 p.m. relaxation mode on. You could even call it filling the creative well. You know, I could read some more of my book, I could watch TV, and watching TV is refilling the creative well. I don't care what anybody says. There's so much inspiration you can pull from what you're watching for writing, and crocheting and just doing all of that kind of stuff. So during that block where I'm being productive and writing, because I'm not drafting right now, now. I'm not setting a word count goal for the day. I'm revising, which I could set like a chapter goal, but I don't really want to put that in my writing routine because I feel like the whole point of this is putting more time towards writing in my day, and that's going to make me progress in my book more anyway. So I don't think I have to like flat out be like a chapter a day, which is what I said in my last vlog, until I realized how long I spend on each chapter, because it's a lot, and I will get into that. We're gonna have a really chatty writing vlog. I have lots to share with you guys about my drafting process so far. But yeah, that's literally it. That's what I have so far. We're gonna test it out, see if I need to tweak anything, and without further ado, let's get into it, starting with me making breakfast, because this is one of those mornings where I'm famished. And then we'll start at 10 for our first writing session. I'm actually gonna listen to an audiobook while I make my breakfast because I've been loving doing that lately, and this is the current romance I'm reading, and every time I read a romance, it just makes me want to write like no other and work on my own romance. And I'm currently reading Love on the Brain by Ali Hazelwood. You guys, I'm loving this book. It's so good. I'm like 73% in. I'm sensing a 5-star read. Sensing a 5-star read. Guys, also, I just love the Libby app. Literally, that's the app that I'm using right now. I think it's like, I don't even know how to describe it. It's like you can use your library card if your library is a part of this and have access to your library's catalog of ebooks and audiobooks. So it's like same as a library. If copies are in use, you have to put a hold on it. There are wait lists and like you have to return it on time, all of that, and some are just instantly available for access. But I've been using it for audiobook lately and even ebooks that I send to my Kindle, and it's just amazing. It's also good because there are glaring do in 10 days, do in 9 days reminders that make it more likely that I finish this sooner. But yeah, I'm gonna listen to my audiobook while I make my breakfast. It's 12:30, so I've been writing for about 2 hours now and don't feel the need for a break. However, I do think I'm going to switch into following along with the writing sprints on YouTube, because now I was just doing a straight writing session, but I am going to switch it up with doing writing sprints because then I don't feel like I'm writing alone. But yeah, anyway, the reason I said writing is because I am currently in the revision process, like you guys are aware, but something that I've found myself doing a lot this draft specifically is starting a session with going back and rereading things over and over and over again, which is so like, it's fine sometimes, but I need to stop doing that so that I can move forward instead of being stuck where I am, which is why we're only 15,000 words into this draft, and it's because I keep doing this. And the reason I did it today is because I had a thought while I opened onto the chapter that I'm on, and I'm like, because my main character Ray is entering this world, this new world that she's not super comfortable with. If you don't know the premise of my novel, she's an aspiring songwriter, but she's kind of too scared to put herself more out there because she's just very comfortable in the shadows. But she's offered this proposition to work with Jordan, who is a celebrity, and the opposite, he's very comfortable in the world of stardom because it's just what he's used to, and he's a singer, she's a songwriter, so the proposition is for them to collaborate, and fake dating is involved and all that. But I'm so bad at blurbing my story also. But because this is a huge like leap and change for her, she's obviously reluctant about a lot of things and stubborn, and I had a thought and I was like, oh my gosh, I don't want her to come across as unlikable because she's a really good person, and my fear is that a lot of her attitude towards things would make her come across as ungrateful, because this is a huge opportunity. So I was like, let me go back in the chapters and see if she comes across as bratty or unlikable, and I just like looked over it and I'm like, no, I think it's still pretty realistic the way she's reacting. But anyway, it's things like that when I have a thought that could affect, like that kind of spans across the whole draft, that makes me want to go back and reread stuff, especially because this is going to be the last draft. That's my plan, is for this to be the last draft. So it's like the only reason this draft in particular I keep rereading stuff. But anyway, another reason it's taking a long time for me to work on each chapter is because I am really heavily revising each chapter, which is great. This is so much better than this, which, if you guys remember, this is the printed version of my second draft. And while I love this story, and this second draft was focused on nailing the plot plot line. The writing, so bad. And I'm not over exaggerating. I mean that if this ever got leaked, I would go run and hide in an igloo and never come back. You would never see me again. I'm over exaggerating, but like, it was not good writing, okay? So let this serve as inspiration or as a reminder. If you're writing your first draft or early draft and you're questioning yourself as a writer and you're like, this is really bad writing, just remember, you will make it better. It's part of the process. You just have to get it out there and you can take what you made and make it better, because this is so much better and I wouldn't have had this if it weren't for this at all. So I appreciate this now. But yeah, like my focus on this draft hasn't been structural changes so far. Besides the beginning, I did move a few chapters around, but it's mostly been on the writing itself, like literally going line by line and making every sentence sound better, which I think I've accomplished so far. Like I'm actually really, really proud of it right now. And I feel like I'm nailing Ray's character voice more. I'm adding more inner monologue, which I think is important to bring the readers more into her head, because I feel like in the first draft, I didn't have a lot of inner monologue for her. And the writing, my writing style, I think is pretty simple. It is a romance, it's not a fantasy, so it's not like purpley prose or anything like that, but I'm trying to achieve a good balance between like humor and deeper moments, and yeah, just taking it line by line really. I have little parts of this that I was writing and I highlighted because it made me smile, and I'm like, oh, it's like I'm reading a book, like my own book as a reader. Like in chapter 2, when we first see Ray and her mom interact, there's just a little part where it's like, I set my bag down and crossed the small space to hug her from behind, pressing my cheek against her shoulder. She smells like flower and cardamom and 100 other things that mean home. Like really nothing fancy, but I just really like that. And then another big change that I made is setting in one of my chapters. I was like, this part is really important because it's the first time Ray and Jordan are interacting after Ray has reluctantly said yes to this job proposition, and she's laying out the rules for him for this agreement, like rules that she's setting to make it more comfortable, because she's stubborn and obviously won't agree to something without a few conditions in there. But I was like, something about this chapter feels bland and boring, and I was like, maybe it's because it's set in Tegan, who's Ray's manager's office, and we've just come out of a chapter set in her office, like the proposition itself, a few chapters ago. So I was like, maybe the repeating setting is making this a little bland. So I was like, maybe I can change the setting, but it can't just be a random place. And I was like, why don't I take this opportunity to make the setting serve the plot, or not just the plot, the character arc, because Ray doesn't feel like she's enough for this new lifestyle she's about to enter. So I was like, why not show that? This is the first time she's agreed to the proposition. Let's immediately show how uncomfortable she is in this setting. So I changed the setting to a rooftop lounge at the hotel that Jordan and his manager are staying at right now. So everyone here is like rich, bougie, fancy, and just that one change, like changing the setting, changed quite a bit of the chapter, because I was able to incorporate more moments in this that showcased Ray kind of being a fish out of water at the beginning. And now it's one of my favorite chapters. Before it was just like a chapter. And now it's one of my favorite chapters. Like one part of this chapter is Tegan strides ahead, weaving through the tables like she owns the place, while I trail behind her, trying to ignore the wobble in my heels. If it were up to me, this meeting would be taking place at a burger joint or a low-key diner. Instead, I'm walking into what feels like the set of a movie, and every step makes me more painfully aware of how out of place I am. Blah, blah, blah. Sorry, my camera battery died. Anyway, there's another part later on in the chapter when Jordan and Ray venture off into their own little section and go over Ray's rules. And there's another part here. I sit first, crossing one leg over the other and placing my clutch on the table between us like a barrier. Jordan crosses over to sit across from me, leaning back into the seat like it's made out of foam. I've noticed that about him, the way he always seems to mold into everything. Leaning on chairs, slouching into booths, draping himself over whatever surface is available like he owns the space. Like the world itself is just another set he's starring in, like he belongs wherever he is. I wouldn't know what that feels like. I'm always adjusting, always shrinking or shifting, tugging at my sleeves, fixing my posture, smoothing my hair. No matter where I am, I'm hyper aware of how I fit into a space, or more often, how I don't. Jordan, on the other hand, he's never trying to fit in. He just exists, and somehow that's enough. I don't know if I envy that or resent it. Maybe both. But either way, it's just another reminder we are from two different worlds. And then they sort of get into it. But yeah, those parts and just other parts of the chapter were added kind of because of the setting change, and I think it's just way more effective. So yeah, I'm just really happy with how this revision has been going. And in terms of finding a new routine, I haven't set any word count or editing goals. I think my goal right now for this writing routine is just to set more time to write. And through that, hopefully we'll make better progress throughout this draft, or quicker progress. But yeah, as of setting a specific word count goal, or, you know, a chapter a day, which is what I tried to set earlier, just hasn't really been working out that way because I've been spending a lot more time on a chapter than I thought. I'm just not going to set any of those kind of goals right now, and just hope that through adding more time or dedicating more time throughout the day to write, that just happens, because it removes the pressure and just allows me to kind of just write, which I've been enjoying. But I still plan to finish this by the end of March. That's still my goal. But yeah, I'm gonna do writing sprints. I am halfway through a new chapter right now, and I'm about a quarter of the way through the story. So hopefully by the end of today I can finish this chapter, get started on the next chapter, finish that chapter. Who knows? Like I said, I don't really have a goal, but I'm gonna try not to be going backwards for the rest of today's writing session. Just trucking forward. I can still look over a chapter over and over again, but I don't want to be going back to previous chapters, if that makes sense. So yeah, a very long-winded update.
That's the worst angle possible. I think it's funny if I just continue like this. No, I'm just kidding. It's like 3:30 and now feels like the perfect time for a break. Like I feel like I actually really need one right now. So I just dropped my sister off somewhere and now I'm gonna go I'm out. I might as well get the stuff that I wanted to buy from like Shoppers Drug Mart. So I'm gonna do that. Like I want kernels. I've been craving popcorn and I ordered this new popcorn bowl off Amazon because when I'm at Matt's house we make it in that and it's just so good. So I was really craving that, so I'm gonna buy that right now. I have to focus, it's a left turn, so I'm gonna be safe driving and put this down.
Okay, question of the day. If you could be any animal, what animal would it be? Because I would definitely be a cat. Like, it just seems so peaceful to spend the majority of your day napping or looking out the window. Like, it's the most interesting thing in the world. Like, Prince is just staring at our backyard and nothing is happening, but he's engrossed. Like, I feel like they just live happy, peaceful lives. I got my microwave. Oh, I'm so excited. This one on Amazon was just called like microwave popcorn popper. I am just now realizing my dad bought a popcorn machine at some point, but I think it's in my basement and I avoid my basement at all costs because I do not like spiders. And that's where most spiders reside, is the basement. So I am not going down there. Whoa, this is very interesting looking. Oh, I pop it out, right? Ah, cute, 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 cute. Oh, place the lid in and then it rises while it's cooking. Cool. Anyway, I'm excited to do this. I'm not gonna have it right now. It's 4:12 right now, so we have about 45 minutes left of our writing day, and honestly, it's feeling like the perfect amount of time because I feel like I've been at it for a while. So 10 to 5 seems like, so far it's seeming good. So I'm gonna do 45 minutes of just straight writing. It was so nice writing along with Taylor and Natalie. Love you guys if you're watching. Love those girlies. And now I'm just gonna do 45 minutes of straight writing, try to end off with a bang and finish off the chapter that I'm working on. Because I'm still getting into this. I mean, it's only day one of trying out like writing for quite a bit during the day. I find that the times I'm supposed to be writing, I have been a little distracted and therefore it doesn't feel like I've done much again, like I mentioned before. But maybe tomorrow will be better. We'll see. Maybe I need to do what I did in one of my previous writing vlogs where I threw my phone across the room and had a writing session without my phone there because that would help. But yeah, anyway, I'm excited to use this microwave popcorn later tonight because I'm going to continue my Marvel movie marathon. I love doing Marvel movie rewatches and I wanted to do it because there's the new Captain America movie that's out and it's been a while since I've been excited for a new Marvel movie and I miss that feel. Those are the best times, going to the movies when a new Marvel movie came out and you're in a theater surrounded by a bunch of Marvel fans and the energy is just so great. And I feel like since COVID that just has not happened and it's been a while since I've been excited for a new Marvel movie, so I'm very excited to watch this and I decided I wanted to do a full rewatch of the movies. I did skip ones that I've seen like 5 million times. And tonight I think I watched Doctor Strange last night. I'm watching in release order, so I think it's Black Panther next. I don't know. know. I would love to watch that, even though I've seen that movie like 10,000 times because I love that movie. I don't know what movie it is. I think it's that, maybe. We'll see, but I now have popcorn that I can eat while I watch it. So let me finish off the writing and then we'll end off for the day, because I feel like at this point I'm just stalling and eating up my writing time. So let's go write. I think I'm actually gonna bring my laptop here. I like switching up the setting. So I'm gonna write in my living room. Yeah. And I didn't end up filming that final writing session, but I ended it at like 5:30 and then decided to make dinner. You guys, the Cooking with V Chronicles continues. I made a Thai coconut curry and I'm so proud of myself because I didn't follow a recipe. I just put random ingredients together. So it felt very much like my mom, because that's what she does. And then I made popcorn. Guys, this microwave popcorn bowl is amazing. It's linked in my Amazon storefront if you guys want the same one. Highly recommend. Like, it literally popped every single kernel and it was delicious. And then I decided to watch my Marvel movie, which was Thor Ragnarok. I love this movie so much. And brief intermission for me singing along to the intro, because that's like my favorite part. I hope you enjoyed that. Anyway, yeah, this movie was amazing and this evening was so cozy, and a 10 out of 10. This book is so easy to fly through. I'm at the point where it feels like I'm flying through chapters. I'm on chapter 10 and this is a really good setup so far. I'm really excited to read this. But it's 8:30, so I've read for an hour. It feels like a good time to stop, and it's time for me to work out, to get some physical activity in before we start our first writing session. Coffee, 10:13, ready for first writing session. I'm saving all my words for my story, of course. So far 10 is seeming like the perfect time to start my first writing session, because I've always been someone who needs more time in the morning to get ready. Like, even before class, I would wake up like 2 hours earlier just so that I had time to do stuff and like fully wake up. So waking up at 7:30 and then starting at 10, just, it's working so far. I'm ready to get back into draft 3. I'm excited to get back into draft 3, and I'm thinking of just doing what I did yesterday and what I feel like I find myself doing most of the time when I first open my laptop, and that's just to write until I lose steam and then switch the method of writing, like writing alongside sprints or doing my writing sprints. But I like to just go straight into it as long as I can. And this time I'm not going to start off by rereading past chapters. I can reread this chapter that I'm working on, but I want to trudge forward. So I'm going to try to make the best use of my time today, and we'll see how it goes. I might write at a cafe today as well. I really love writing at cafes. I wrote at one recently with my sister and just enjoyed it so much, because as much as I love writing at my desk or on my bed, which are the two most common areas I write, or down in my living room, which I love doing when my family's downstairs because I love background noise. I think it could be easy to get comfortable with the idea of constantly working from home, but I do want to be venturing outside. So yeah, let's get to writing them. Something that I've been loving in the books that I've been reading recently are the short chapters. So obviously if I love something in another book, I want to apply it to my own. So I've been looking at the chapter counts for this draft so far, and I think we're accomplishing that. I believe, a short chapter generally refers to a chapter with a word count between 1,000 to 2,000 words. Obviously this could be subject to change. Let's say I do eventually end up working with an editor, like chapters might move around, things might shift, but as it stands right now, most of them are between 1,000 to 2,000 words. So I have 1.4 for chapter 1, 1.4 for chapter 2. My longest is chapter 3 right now with 3.4, but that's like the whole inciting incident chapter, so that kind of makes sense. But I could also see where I could break this up into 2 chapters if I needed to. I don't mind long chapters. I have nothing against them. Honestly, I'll still read a book with long chapters. I just prefer short chapters. The chapter that I'm working on right now is the reason I'm bringing this up is because the chapter I'm working on right now is currently at 1.3k words, and the scene just ended and now I'm going into the next scene, and I have been expanding a lot. I realized, like, I do think this draft is going to be longer than draft 2, so I think the next scene is also going to be expanded. I think it's just because I'm adding more inner monologue and stuff. So I'm like, do I end the chapter here and then then do a new one. I think I'm gonna do that. Like at the end of the day, it's really not a big deal. I feel like chapters can easily be like merged together if I needed to. I think I'm gonna do that. I think I'm gonna end this chapter, but I'm gonna pull the start of this scene at the end of this chapter so that I can semi do a cliffhanger and then get into the next one, which is what I've been doing for a lot of chapters, like trying to end on a cliffhanger if I can, but not force one, just like if it's naturally happens. Not all of these have it though, not looking back on it right now. And it just feels right because then I can start the next chapter with like a reaction to what just was revealed. So it's only if I have like a mini little plot twist. I just put like that line at the very end. Anyway, I guess we're basically gonna finish off this chapter, which is great, and then I'm going to start the next one, work on the next one. I'm really excited to work on it. This chapter is gonna be a fun one. It is gonna have a lot of changes because this is when Ray is meeting Jordan's parents, and Jordan's parents are well-known, hardworking billionaires. So I'm gonna have her be awkward and clumsy and funny and out of place because I need that bit of tension to be there at the beginning, which I didn't feel like I had in draft 2, where it's like, how is she gonna fit into this world? Like, she's not gonna fit in. Like, we don't think that this, I want the readers to be like, I don't know if this is gonna go well because Ray just doesn't fit in. And I didn't highlight that enough in draft 2 because I felt like she was more like a chameleon. She quickly like adapted to everything, which doesn't really make, it shouldn't really make sense. Oh, you can see the mess on my book cart. Finished a chapter, started the next one. It's like 11:43. Oh, it's too bright. I don't think you need to see the time, but time for breakfast break, and then we'll get back into it. I'm feeling good. It's like 1:53. I was literally just gonna have lunch and then continue, but I turned it into a full-on break from finding myself trapped in the TikTok scrolling rabbit hole, which I'm not super mad about. I like TikTok and I don't like going on it at night, so might as well have done it during the day. You know what I mean? I got my little fix it. And like I said, the routine that I planned was supposed to have a break fitted into it because I knew that if I did like a straight 9 to 5, that just wouldn't work out very well for me. So I'm not gonna have a second coffee. I had a Magic Mind shot, and I'm also gonna have, I love writing with a drink. So I'm gonna make Earl Grey tea, which has been my newest obsession. And I'm gonna put in some of this. I bought this on Amazon. It's collagen and it's unflavored, and people usually put it in their drinks, just like a scoop in their drinks. So I'm gonna do that. I don't know why I have my coffee out. I'm gonna make tea. This is gross. Okay. Oh, these are the flowers Matt got me for Valentine's Day. They're chrysanthemums. I don't know how to pronounce that. And they're still alive, which is amazing for me because I'm not good at keeping flowers alive. But I've been remembering to water these every day, and they look pretty good still. The soil is damp, so I don't think I have to water it again. They're so pretty. I love this amazing angle where you can totally see me when I'm up close like this. Guys, I've had that song stuck in my head for so long. It's Ordinary by Alex Warren. It's so good. You got me feeling real in the sanctuary. Angels up in the cloud are jealous of the clouds on this world. Look it up. It's so good. Matt's mom got me this frother, and I love it. It's literally like a workout for me. I can feel my abs clenching. And so I think I'm just gonna take a scoop of this and put it directly in here. This angle sucks. I literally am bending so much. But I was too lazy to bring my camera down, so you're being filmed on my phone right now. Oh, this is really sealed. Look how big that scoop is. But it's for healthy skin, hair, and nails, and you know what? I'll take it. If you're interested and want to know what it has in it, hopefully you can read that. Wait, you have to see my mug. This is one of the ones that I painted. I like to do pottery painting sometimes with my friends, and it says have a good day in it. I asked my friend to help me write that because I was way too scared that I would mess it up. And then these are supposed to be like lemons. I don't know if you can even tell that they're lemons. I was a little disappointed with how it turned out at the start, but now it's growing on me. Like, it's still cutesy, and I love the yellow color. But anyway, I will say it's like a creamier consistency. That's the only thing I can really notice. So all around it's good in the sense that it doesn't, like, you can't taste it. It's like very, very, very subtle, which is good. I didn't want it to taste like obvious that you put collagen in there. There's nothing better than having a little drinky poo and writing. And the writing session I had before I ate breakfast was just straight writing, no sprints or anything. And like I said, I finished the chapter and started the next one. So now I'm gonna do writing sprints so that I'm writing alongside someone else and going until 5. So we have like 3 hours until then, which is perfect. Most streams are like 2 hours, and then I'll just write until we hit 5, and then I will check back in with you guys at 5 to see if I think I will stop there, but see if there's a chance I want to keep going, because we could do 10 to 6 and see if I should somehow stretch out my sessions. We'll see how I feel at 5, because yesterday 5 felt like a good time to end. It's all like trial and error, so let's go write.
Let's make this sentence flames on brand.
I know I'm gonna regret filming from this angle when I edit this, but it's 5 and I am so tired. I am ready. Oh my gosh, my hand is shaking. This camera's so heavy. I am actually really tired, so this is honestly the perfect time to end off, and I got so much progress done, but I'm thinking this might be the kind of night where I have a night writing session as well, because I don't feel burnt out of my story for the day. Like, I feel like I still have some writing left in me, and like I said, this is a schedule, but like, it doesn't mean I have to be very strict on it. Like, if I want to write past 5, I will. It's just, it kind of helps me feel less guilty when I have scheduled in relaxation time, because anytime I don't, I'm always like, I could be doing something. But last night, it felt so good to just have nothing on the schedule for the evening. I watched my movie like you guys saw, but I also was like uploading my camera footage for the day to my laptop, so I can do like rough cut edits and stuff while I relax. Like, I don't see editing as work, and same with writing too. So a lot of the times I will squeeze that into my break times, like writing, reading, editing and stuff. But final cuts for editing, like my videos, like the final edits, definitely I have to focus on those, and I can't do them while I'm watching something else or relaxing. So I still have to figure out how I'm going to incorporate content creation in my writing routine. I think I'm still going to treat it like a 9 to 5, so it might just, like, on days where I have to do the final cut edits, I might just carve it out of my writing time, honestly. But yeah, I'm super happy with the changes actually that I made to this chapter. Are not as much as I thought it would change. Like, I reread draft 2 of this chapter just now, like before writing it, and I was like, oh, I kind of did accomplish what I wanted to accomplish in terms of Ray's dynamic with Jordan's parents and like meeting everyone and stuff. You tell I'm tired. My brain is like, I'm ready to relax. But yeah, day 2 felt super productive. Day 2 of trying this routine out. Hi guys, editing V here. Also, look how cozy this is. Matt got this for me. It's like little corgi, because we love corgis. It's so cute. Anyway, I fully intended on filming day 3, but this vlog was turning out to be super long, so I will just update you guys. I went through a full week of this routine and I'm loving it a lot so far. I wake up excited to have another day following this routine, and of course I'm going to continue to vlog, so stay tuned for updates in future vlogs if I decide to adjust anything. But yeah, it's been great. I just had a writing session, you guys, and it was amazing. I'm loving this revision process for Into the Limelight so much this draft. Anyway, if you guys watched to the end, I love you so much, and I wish you the best of luck on your writing projects, and I will see you lovelies in my next video. Bye!